think I know how Morgan felt. Deuce, what did you think of the defensive effort from the Kings last night?
I just feel like they're getting better and better, and the numbers are backing it up. You could tell it's a group that's getting more comfortable with each other. We shout out Davion so much. Sabonis deserves some more love for what he does defensively. I think so many times we get caught up in, well, how many blocks does he have? Like that means a great defensive player. And it's fine. I would love for him to block more shots. It's not his game, but what he has done is he hasn't looked lost in the pick and roll. So many people are like, oh, he's going to get destroyed on the pick and roll. They're hedging it, they're being aggressive with it, and he's able to not only get up, but then recover. He's pointing guys in the right directions, and he's an elite defensive rebounder. I don't think he gets enough love for what he's done defensively. And no, they don't have a whole bunch of great individual one-on-one defenders, right? Davion's a great on-ball guy. But if you could play some good team defense, which they are trending in that really solid direction, that's a great sign. I think it's the last 10 games, they're 17th in defensive rating in the last 10, and now they've moved up to 22nd on the season. It's not great, but it's way better than it was last year at the start of the season. It's not taking step backs, which is encouraging.
Kenny, I always throw this at you because you played at a high level. How important is it when you don't have elite individual defenders to have a fantastic locked in team defense, and especially when you have a good anchor in the middle? And it's not about having that shot blocking big, but it would be nice, right? But about having that anchor in the middle that's communicating, talking up, letting them know that they have your back, trusting them that they're going to be there if you don't have that step, or if you do push baseline, or if you angle someone toward the middle. Like when you have someone talking to you and everyone's buying into that, it just beautiful things can happen as a team.
Absolutely. It's extremely vital. And I say all the time, whether it's, at a high level or I'm teaching the 10-year-olds, just talk. Just talk.
Yes.
I say all the time, tell me what you're doing and tell me what you see. And if you got 5 guys telling me what you're doing and what you see, i.e. a cutter or a screen or something coming on like that, just to think of, if one person's doing that, that's great communication. Just think if you got all 5 guys talking about either I got ball or I'm in help or I'm in denial, or watch this screen coming, cutter coming across. Like now we're all locked in. That's where we get into talking about moving on a string and being as one. And I think Domantas Sabonis helps out a lot with that. He's a great communicator out there on the floor. And the rebounds. I mean, you guys know the defense ain't over until you have the basketball. And there's not too many guys better at finishing off a defensive possession than Domantas Sabonis with the way he rebounds.
And his ability to grab the ball and take it himself. I know Slater was talking about that on The Athletic, just talking about the fact that Brown kind of uses him like Draymond in that sense, where he's going to push the ball, the dribble handoffs. He's been so good with these dribble handoffs too in transition. He's able to create so much for this team. And so, I don't know, there's just sometimes I'm just watching Sabonis. It's just so fun to watch. Even when he doesn't have the ball, the guy is just constantly doing something.
Yeah, I feel like he's the team's most important player. Like we were having this discussion earlier about most important versus the best. So much of the Kings universe right now seems to center on Domantas Sabonis.
I like that. I think that's a totally a fair debate or conversation to have because of just the way that his presence dictates so much of that offense. It doesn't matter if he's the one grabbing the rebound, going in a bust out and pushing the ball up and starting the motion offense, or if it's one of the guards starting it and he still is the one leading, talking, commanding people to move around, or understands, hey, I already know where your defender's going to go on this, so just come off me. I'm going to make your life that much better. He's just such a great teammate in so many different ways. And Kenny, can we consider him on that younger side too?
Yeah, he's 26. I think he's outside of Harrison. He's like the oldest of the group. He's the old man at 26 years old. And we had this conversation with Olivia, and I thought all the answers were interesting. Damien, thought Sabonis. I said Fox. Olivia said Malik Monk. And I don't know if he's the best player on the team, but what he brings to the team on the basketball court, it seems like in the locker room, it seems like what he brings to the Golden One Center, it's invaluable right now. He is
You had 5,000 people, 5,000 some odd people wearing Band-Aids on their face.
Right,
Yeah.
right. David, you talked about it. Olivia talked. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He's a leader that we've been asking for the last couple of years. Like I said, I don't know Deuce. I don't know if he's the best, but I mean, what he's providing right now is feels unmatched.
He comes in the game and there's juice. It's not just him trying to get his either. I mean, he's looking to set guys up, and some of the stuff he says post game, I love. It seems like he's never worried. He's like, I'm not, even during that 3-game skid, he's like, I'm not letting this fracture. Like, we're fine. We're going to keep this going. And he was saying that during the 0-4 start. I think he brings humor, positivity, and he's a good player. And I think Mike Brown has empowered him to play more of his style. You know, last year he's such a good catch and shoot guy, but now he's doing stuff out there. He's sent guys up. How many times have we looked and seen that after a game, Malik Monk has 6+ assists in a game? You know, he's setting guys up. He brings instant energy, and I love having that off the bench. You start talking about 6 Man of the Year candidates. I know Mike Brown was pushing him last night before the game, but he's up there. He's up there with Brogdon. Even if you want to throw in the rookie Mathurin, sure. But Malik Monk is having a big time impact on winning.
Is there any reason KZ Okpala shouldn't be getting minutes every single night?
Yeah, you know, I was so surprised by that stretch when he wasn't at all. And I think a credit to him and Brown. Like, man, it just seems like everyone stays engaged, because this guy starts the first 3 games of the year and then doesn't play for a long time. He comes in for like the last 16 seconds of a quarter. He came in that Boston game and had an impact.
Yeah.
And so, I think when he plays in control, especially offensively, because, you know, you don't want him to get too thirsty. You got to buy into that stuff. What he brings defensively with that energy, I think you have to try to find some minutes for him.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing that we saw. Well, not the same thing. I think it's similar when we saw Terrence Davis have that game on TNT, and then it was a game or 2 after where he didn't go in until the 3rd quarter. But they understand that they just need to stay ready and trust Mike Brown's philosophy, his rotations, and what he's trying to accomplish with them. But I also feel like Mike Brown is the type of coach and the type of person that believes in rewarding people, and not just, like they worked hard at practice. It's no, rewarding them. Hey, if you get this 30 seconds in the game, you better do what you're supposed to do. Like, I think, Damian, maybe I was sitting next to you when I was talking about Metu, who ended up having a
You're
good
definitely
game.
sitting next to me.
Yes. And it was when Sabonis was going to check in. So like you saw Mike Brown say Sabonis get in there. I think it was a Chimeze Metu. Something happened on the defensive end, and I was probably pointing ferociously at it. And then on the offensive end, he gets the ball at the top and just takes the first 3 at the top of the 3-pointer. And it's because he saw Sabonis coming in. And so in that time, he made the wrong decision, because he's like, okay, well, let me get mine right before I have to go out. And it's like, no, you don't want to do those things. And I feel like he is more disciplined. And my whole point of this is I feel like every guy understands how disciplined they do need to be when they even get 30 seconds.